All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Cleveland Cavaliers video. They got the job done on the road against a relatively depleted Portland Trail Blazers team. But hey, the Cleveland Cavaliers are very depleted this season, and so is every other team in the NBA right now. So you can only play who's in front of you. You can't control what teams you play. You can't control what players are ready to go for that said team. So on the road, a win is a win. I thought this was a great win to the Cavs now won 2 out of their last 3, which it just feels like the Cavs are getting back on track, man. It just feels like they're getting back on track. They got a game against the Golden State Warriors here relatively shortly, but one game at a time. Let's go ahead and recap tonight's game. If you guys enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're still trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. I don't know what happened to the box score. Let me pull it up. Here we go. Ricky Rubio, Rajon Rondo, that was a planned poor joke. But Ricky, that wasn't a joke. Rajon Rondo did a great job, I felt like, for filling in for Ricky Rubio tonight. I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody's necessarily expecting the same production, especially offensively. I mean, Ricky Rubio isn't like, it's not like he's like the best, like, scoring the basketball as far as that goes, but he can definitely get the job done. Rajon Rondo at this point in his career, I wouldn't say he's known for scoring at all. I mean, he's never really even been known for scoring in general, but I guess neither has Ricky Rubio. I just felt like Rajon Rondo tonight did a perfectly fine job. Apparently, they're not really going to be playing him over 20 minutes. I don't know if that's an age thing, if that's a system thing. I would imagine that's going to give the Cavaliers some issues long term. They might have plans to run Okoro sometimes as the point guard. I don't really know. I'm not sure. I just feel like I don't remember exactly where. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I saw somewhere that the Cavs didn't have the intention, or maybe it was like a Cavs article or something like that. But whatever I was reading was basically just saying that they didn't think the Cavaliers were going to play Rajon Rondo over 20 minutes at like any point this entire season. And I saw that, I'm like, yeah, it's BS. Then tonight, I mean, he only plays 17 minutes, made the most of it though, +5 in that category. Keep in mind, only one Cavaliers player was a negative. I believe that was, Evan Mobley. But I'm not quite sure. It might work out. It's just like a whole weird situation as it is, because you have Sexton out for the entire season. Now you have Rubio out for the entire season. So just given those circumstances, it's already super wacky. But I was expecting Rajon Rondo to play at least 20 minutes. I know we're only talking like 3 minutes here, but those make a difference. Lamar Stevens got the start for Isaac Okoro tonight, as he's going to miss a couple of weeks. I thought he did a good job. I think he's a good player. He's never really going to do anything maybe here and there, but for me, he's never really going to like blow up the stat sheet. That's not really his type of game, I feel like. But I like his energy. I like his hustle. I like the effort. I'm more of a fan of Cedi Osman, but I do feel like Cedi Osman is probably a little better suited for the bench. Speaking of Cedi Osman, let's just talk about him, because he was huge for him tonight. Yay. Lamar might have started the game, but Cedi Osman was the closer. He was huge for the Cavaliers tonight. He made 4 huge threes to just kind of keep your foot on the gas. They scored 32 points compared to 23 for Portland. I don't know. Not every win is going to be pretty. Not every win's going to be ugly. I felt like this was kind of right in the middle. If anything, it definitely tips more towards the above average game. I mean, they kept the turnovers to only 8. They played good defense. The 3 ball was falling. The shots were falling. The free throws were certainly not falling that well tonight. But you had 6 players in double digits. That's kind of been the name of the game for the Cavs this season. It's next man up, man. And especially when Sexton went down. I mean, that was the mantra kind of like heading into the season. The Sexton goes down, Rubio goes down, and now it's definitely next man up. I don't know what the Cavs will do moving forward. I don't see them sitting put, if that makes sense. I don't see them making a big-time move. In fact, I don't even think that they'll really necessarily make a big-time trade. If anything, I think it would be something similar to that Rajon Rondo, Denzel Valentine switch, but I don't know who on the Cavs team that they are willing to trade away right now. I mean, I just feel like if anything, the Cavs they would sit back and look at this season, even if, let's say the Cavs, finish the season kind of like the same pace they're going right now. I mean, it's a success, right? It's a success. You had the third worst record in the NBA last season. Anything is pretty much a success. So I don't really see the Cavaliers being all that eager to make a move, especially, like I said, man, I felt like Rajon Rondo played perfectly fine tonight. I don't know why he was acting like Steph Curry and he took 8 threes. As a Rockets fan, this is kind of an issue I've been having with Daniel Tice whenever he's been playing, but 8 threes for Rajon Rondo is almost unheard of. An open three is an open three. I guess you could make the argument for that. I guess that's a fair argument. But Rajon Rondo, I mean, he's not going to go 2-8 every night from downtown. In fact, he might only shoot 8 threes 1 or 2 more times for the rest of the season. So I like what Rajon brings you. I've made plenty of videos about him if you guys want to go check those out. But really tonight, the starters, I mean, they did a great job. They did a great job just kind of keeping their foot on the gas, keeping it on the throttle, especially after that second quarter there where he scored 33 points. But Darius Garland, man, he's just making his case for All-Star MVP. He's making his case for an NBA All-Star this season. 26 points tonight, 6 assists, 10 of 17 from the field, 5 of 8 from downtown. He just recently got back from COVID, so it's really, really nice to see him that it didn't take him much time, or it doesn't appear like it's going to be taking him much time to get back to normal. Outside of that, you have Jarrett Allen just continue a dominant season. I mean, this man is literally on pace to break records, and it's for good reason. Team high plus 16 tonight. Don't let that go unnoticed. 13 points, 13 rebounds, missed 1 field goal attempt. No blocks tonight, but Jarrett Allen, he doesn't need defensive statistics to know that he's having a strong defensive impact. Evan Mobley, right there with him, 7 of 14 from the field. Not great from the free throw line, but he gave you 8 rebounds, he gave you a steal, he gave you 2 blocks, he gave you 18 points. You can't really ask much more from Evan Mobley as far as consistency goes. I mean, this man has been... I don't even know. He's not human. I've made videos about this. I mean, I don't think he's human. I can't believe a guy of his stature can move so effortlessly, can guard so many different positions so effortlessly. This man can switch on to a point guard, and you would be thinking he's been doing this his whole life, which he has been doing his whole life. But just seeing like a 7-foot-plus player do that, it's almost unheard of, man. It's almost unheard of. You rarely see basketball players who are capable of doing that. Outside of that, you had Lauri Markkanen kind of get back, he's kind of getting back to his consistent ways. Plus 13, you love to see that. 15 points, 5 assists. I think really, Kevin Love, keep in mind, he only had 8 points tonight, 3 of 9 from the field. Not a great night from him. I think just this game, this win kind of goes to show you, it just kind of reinforces like the Cavaliers kind of like main point where you can have guys struggle. Like, you can have a player struggle and his teammates will pick him up. Whether that's shooting the ball, whether that's defensively, they're the 3rd-ranked defense in the NBA. The hope is that those don't last very long, and they really don't. But these guys are, like, they're holding themselves accountable, but they're also, like, picking their teammates up. And it's just so nice to see, man, because, I talk about this all the time, but I wasn't expecting this great of a turnaround from the Cavaliers team. Obviously there's a bunch of talent there, and everyone kind of was really hyped to see what Evan Mobley would look like in the NBA. But I just feel like they're exceeding all of our expectations, and it's not even close. I really just don't even think it's close. So this was a great win against the Portland Trailblazers on the road. You're on a road trip right now. So these games, these wins, don't underestimate these wins, man. These are huge wins. Now their West Coast road trip right here, to be honest with you, I don't think it's that difficult. I really don't think it's that difficult. Given everything going on in the NBA right now with injuries and with COVID as well, I just feel like this is a point in the season where if you can stand against this adversity right now and you can fight through this adversity, like, your potential it's through the roof. There is no ceiling on this Cavaliers team as it is, but let's say they lost like 1 game in this road trip, in this West Coast road trip. I mean, that would be unbelievable. It would just be another reassuring way to view this Cavs team as like, oh my God, they're legitimate. They can legitimately make the playoffs. I mean, they're just so good. Like, even just guys like Cedi Osman, they have such a big impact that you would not realize unless you were a Cavs fan or unless you're watching these games. So it's just so cool to see, man. they're picking each other up, and they're fighting through everything that's happened to them this season. So that's it for today, guys. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop some comments down below on the Cavaliers team, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.